In this lesson, we're looking at 4 types of relations. Now, you may have seen these words around: one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-one, many-to-many, the 4 different combinations. Okay, now, before we start here, what we're just going to review, do you remember what the vertical line test is? What is the vertical line test? Yeah, when you put a vertical line through a function and the line only cuts the function once. Okay, so for example, vertical line test is when you put a vertical line through a function and the vertical lines only cut the function once. So this one, for example, passes the vertical line test. It's when, so what is the vertical line test? When a vertical line cuts the graph once. Okay, and if it cuts the graph once, it's called a function. Do you remember that? So when a vertical line cuts the graph once, we have a function. Okay, then there was the horizontal line test. What the vertical line test does, when a vertical line cuts the graph once, we have a function. What it does, it tests that for every x value we have, so this is what the vertical line test does. The vertical line test tests that for every x value we have only one y value. Okay, that's what the vertical test does, vertical line test does. So what do you think the horizontal line test is going to do? The opposite. Okay, so we're going to look at that now. So that's your vertical line test. So horizontal line test, from before, that if something passes the vertical line test, it's a function. Okay, now you can also pass the horizontal line test as well, just like the vertical line test. So here are my horizontal lines. Okay, this is my cubic equation, and so this passes the horizontal line test. Now the horizontal line test, it tests that for every y value there is only one x value. Now how do we know that it's that way and not the other way? Because look, when you draw horizontal lines, aren't they y equals lines? Do you get it? So that tests for every y value that you're drawing across. Because see, this is the line maybe y equals 2, y equals -1, y equals -2. You only have one x value. When you do a vertical line, you're drawing the line through, say x is 2, x is -2. So that's how you know which one's which. Okay? So the vertical line tests for every x value, you only have one y value. But the horizontal line test tests for every y value, because you're drawing the lines y equals, that there is only one x value. So that's what the 2 tests are. Now we're going to look at the 4 types of relations. So 4 types of relations. It's just the 4 combinations of the words one and many. One-to-one is the first type. So a one-to-one passes both the horizontal and the vertical line tests. So passes both the horizontal and the vertical line tests. Okay, so therefore, for every x value, there's only one y value, and for every y value, there's only one x value. Okay, so that means, therefore, for every x value, there is only one y value, and for every y value there is only one x value. So this is why it's called one-to-one, one going one way, one going the other way. Okay, for every x value there's only one y value, for every y value there is only one x value. Some examples. To be able to draw some examples, you'd have to be able to pass both the horizontal and the vertical line tests. So we need to draw functions that pass both the horizontal and the vertical line tests. So I'm thinking a straight line. So there's my function, a straight line. That passes the vertical line test and the horizontal line test. And maybe a cubic would pass the vertical line test and the horizontal. A parabola would not pass, okay? I'll set you something. Okay, so 1-to-1 passes both horizontal and vertical line tests. These are some examples. Or I could even give you a list of points, like this. As long as, notice when x is 1, y is 3, as long as I don't repeat any x and y values. Okay, so I could show it as a set of points as well. Now, what do you notice about those? What does it look like? Do these look like functions or relations? This is a function. A function is when you just pass the vertical line test. Okay?
Wait, was the second
Exponential. A hyperbola would pass. Would a hyperbola pass? Yes. A hyperbola would pass as well. For every x, there is only one y. So basically, your straight line, your cubic, your exponential and your hyperbola would all pass that test, but not a V-shaped curve, so definitely not an absolute value. That won't pass. That will pass the vertical but not the horizontal, and a parabola will pass the vertical but not the horizontal, okay? And a circle just doesn't pass anything. To 1. Now, many to 1 passes the vertical line test but fails the horizontal line test. Let's just have a look. And let's see what the many to 1 means. If I look here, I pass the vertical line test. It's a parabola. But I fail the horizontal line test. Now, for every x value, there is only one y value. However, for every y value, you could have 2 x values. Look. So that's failed. It fails this test, the horizontal. Look, for example, if this is y equals x squared, example, y equals x squared. When y equals x squared, tell me, when y is 4, what could you have for? What could you have if y is 4? What could x be? Tell me. No, 2. 2 squared is 4, and negative 2 squared is 4. So if you've got y is 4, let's say this is 4, you get x is 2 and negative 2. Okay, now I'll show you that with a set of points in a minute. All right? So that is an example of something that fails. Another example would be this. The absolute value function fails. Got it? This fails. Remember, it's still got to be a function. It passes this way, passes the vertical, but fails the horizontal. So these still pass the vertical line test, but fail the horizontals. 1 to many. And this is going to be our sideways parabola. So it's going to fail the vertical line test. And it's going to pass the horizontal line test. So it's 1x gives me many y's. All right? Now, I'm going to draw that. So we're all waiting for this one to come up, and here it is. Okay? Now, the 1 to many is the next type. So 1 to many fails the vertical line test, but passes the horizontal line test. Let's say this is the parabola x equals y squared. Let's have a look. I'm just going to do some points. Let's say I've got x is 4. I want the y values. So when x is 4, you tell me what the y values are. 4, 2, or 4, negative 2. So when x is 4, y could be 2, or y could be negative 2. Yeah. Value there gives many. 1x gives me many y. What about the point 9? 3 and negative 3. Good. So when x is 9, I could have 3, but when x is 9, I could also have negative 3. So basically what we've got is that 1x, so it means 1 to many, one x value gives me many or more than one y value. Now, another example might be, I'm trying to think of another one. Oh, the sideways semicircle. Got it? That one. Another one actually is just a vertical line. Because if this is like the line x is 4 or something, this is the point 4, 1. This is the point 4, 2, and so on. So a vertical line is also a one to many. You get the idea? All right. Yeah, these are not functions, or this is not a function. Remember, to be a function, it's got to pass the vertical line test. So one to many is not a function. What about, I'm going to go back up to many to one. Is that a function? This is a function. Because if it passes the vertical line test, it's a function. So many to one, so one to one is a function, many to one is a function. So if it ends in 1, it's a function. 1 to 1 is a function, many to 1 is a function, okay? But 1 to many, because you're getting many y values, it's not a function anymore, okay? And the last one is, what do you think? Many x give many y, and many y give many x. So it fails both the horizontal and the vertical line test. It fails both ways, okay? So basically you're going to have both x and y values being repeated, okay? So an example here, let's just have an example. If this is the circle with radius 5, I think some of the points, you can have the point 3, 4, that's a point, 3, 4. You could have the point 3, negative 4. You could have the point 4, 3. You could have the point 4, negative 3. Wait. So at the moment I'm showing, what's this showing? 1 to many. 1 to many, right? But now I need to show you the many to 1 as well. So negative 3, 4 will happen as well. If I had a circle, I'm going to put a circle up there for you in a minute. And negative 3, negative 4 works. Okay? So will negative 4, what did I do? Negative 4, 3 will work, and negative 4, negative 3 will work. Yeah. Oh, sorry, you can't see. All right. These are some points on a circle. I'll show you on Desmos. 3 gives me a 4, 3 gives me a negative 4. That's 1 to many. But I can get a 4 and a negative 4 with other numbers. Do you see? What other numbers give me a 4? Negative 3 can give me a 4 as well. Okay? So that's many to many. There are many ways I can get a 4 with a 3 and negative 3. And there are, and if I start with y is 4, I can get 3. And if I've got y is 4, I could get negative 3. So it's both ways. That's many to many.